All right, we're back and it's still Crossfire with Dakwa and Ishoma. It's a Friday, and as usual on Crossfire, you know, it's Feedback Friday. And the first segment of the show was totally dedicated to talking about the goings on in the country, and we provided you with updates and analysis of some of the concerns and things that really are, are bedeviling, the nations. Fuel scarcity, Fulani herdsmen attack on innocent villages in Nigeria, the CCT, the president of the Senate, and so many other stories like that. And this segment, we will be talking about something that is really very topical. Who are you? Are you a true Nigerian? Do you carry the green passport with every sense of responsibility? Or where exactly do you think your hopes lies? Outside the country? So we'll be addressing issues as it borders around Nigerians in diaspora. Now, as a matter of fact, we have this gentleman. They will be, obviously, I mean, everybody knows that Obi Emelonoye is a Nigerian diaspora. He's trying to come back home now to combine. He will make the naira and then, convert to pounds and then, what's the language now? Export. And then export it. No, but that's an economic term they use.
We need to find out if he pays his tax here.
I do.
Because
okay.
they are deducted at source.
But now that you are supporting Mr. Saraki is not declaring his assets,
yes.
I'm actually going to watch you closely.
Please do.
I am so going to watch you closely.
Please do.
All right.
Please do.
Okay. Now we have a gentleman in the studio who has tasted and is still tasting, a tale of two cities. Is a Nigerian, but is lived, outside the country, and right now is in the business of helping people settle back at home. He's saying that Nigeria is actually the greener pasture that you thought you went for in the UK, in the US, and every other place that you have gone. And he's been trying to ensure that Nigerians can actually fit back into their own country, haven't lived outside the country. And he's been doing this, and he's going to tell us on the show how much and how possible, this really is, and maybe some of his plans and his programs, and how he's been going about this. Let's meet Baba Elang. I mean, I will not have to, if you want us to really, your full name, because they are really very long. It's a recitation and everything. But I introduce him to you as Baba, and then he will tell us exactly, is it Baba Tokwe, is it Babangida, is it Baba, and all of that. Okay, so let's quickly meet you,
Okay, thank you for that warm intro. My name is actually Babatunde JALLAH EPEGA. But I shorten it to Baba Jallah, and it's a mix because my dad is Ijebu and from Bauchi as well. And my mom is Ishekiri, and she's from Okrika Rivers. So it's
true Nigerian. I mean, forget
Wazobia in a way.
Exactly. You're true Nigerian.
Yeah,
nice to have you on the show. Now, gentlemen, let's start from you, Baba. When we say Nigerians in diaspora, what do we really mean?
I think to categorize it is very important because Nigerians in diaspora are people who have legitimately or sometimes illegitimately moved out of Nigeria to different countries. For instance, in the 70s when my parents left, they left because they felt there was a better, greener pasture in England. We moved to Switzerland, then to England, and we have family in the US, we have family in Saudi Arabia. So they're people that predominantly move their families to non-Nigeria and out of Africa. But also, they have left their children in schools and institutions in these countries like Britain, where they get passports. And they run for the country, or they box for the country, or they're scientists, or they went to MIT, went to Queen Mary College like I did and learned economics and started in the city. So we left Nigeria for a certain period of time. And there are a lot of people in diaspora who really want to come back, but it's very tough.
Difficult. Obi?
Diaspora is...
Obi, let me start this way with you. I mean, I don't want you to define, why did you leave?
I left in 1993. I just graduated from university, did my youth service in Calabar, NTA at the time, and then I went and played football, professional football for a little while, and I went to London to play football. Some of my mates were leaving the country not because they had football careers to pursue, but they were just taking their chance because it was right in the middle of the structural adjustment program, in the middle of the political uncertainty under the IBB regime, that things weren't going. There was inflation going through the roof, and the prospect for every young man in Nigeria wasn't great. In fact, the exodus was so much that Nigeria had to do an advertising campaign against people leaving.
Andrew checking out.
And it was that time that I left. But I didn't leave out of this very optimistic notion of finding a better life. I left because I had football trials in England. And when they didn't work out, I just simply stayed.
Okay.
So a lot of things actually take people out.
Sorry, now that we have guests who have tested life outside the country and know what it is here, if you put it on a scale, I mean, were you able to achieve that aspiration, that better life outside Nigeria?
It wasn't today's option. It wasn't Baba's option.
I think it was my parents' option.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went to a very good school. I went to the oldest school in the world in King's Canterbury, in Kent, in England. Started in 1603 by Henry VIII's family. And I was taught a different world. And the achievement for me was not achieving as a Nigerian. It was achieving as someone, a human being. So I played rugby for England, and then I went to the city, financial markets. I traded futures, options on the live floor. So for me, I was achieving a lot. But then I got a bit disgruntled. I realized I wanted a different life, that there are four things in the world that have the adjective great in front of them. There's Great White Shark, there's Great Wall of China, there's Great Barrier Reef, and there's Great Britain. And it's all to do with branding. And Britain's brilliant at branding. I went into events and started doing marketing. And in marketing, I realized that Nigeria needs a better marketing strategy.
Wow.
We have no structure. Everyone thinks of Nigeria, especially diasporans who are the most critical of Nigeria.
Exactly.
That, Nigeria had Boko Haram, we're corrupt, we're
Some people still perceive that we live on the trees.
It's true. We're all zombies. When you get to the airport, you get there, there's chaos.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I was coming back to Nigeria once in a while and seeing films, like some of your great films, Obi. And I was saying, Nigeria is not like this. I want to find out for myself. But I came back 2 years ago, and it took me 5 years to come back.
Wow.
Because of the infrastructure, just inhibitions. You can't get into Nigeria.
And as a matter of fact, one of the greatest gifts in Nigeria today happens to be Babatunde's wife, and as a matter of fact, she plays one very strange instrument. I don't know what the name is.
It's a hang.
But what is the name?
It's spelled a hung, but it's a hang. It's a spherical instrument. There's like two steel drums put together.
All right, it's still strange because it has nothing to do with your regular drum set, your keyboard, and the likes. But she plays it so beautifully, and I'm very sure maybe
she'll be on Hello Nigeria today.
Oh, okay,
so
by 11 o'clock on the same channel, you definitely will be meeting her. 11 a.m. This morning, 12 noon. 12 noon. So you stay and watch this particular episode. It will interest you a great deal. Now, gentlemen, let's concentrate. Now, I'm a Nigerian diaspora, and I possibly have a few perception of what Nigeria really is, compared to where you have always lived. Now, one thing or the other is making people to actually qualify to be Nigerians in diaspora, legitimately or not. Now, it was your decision, like it was Obi's decision to get out. While his parents are here, still Nigerians living here, lived in this country. He stepped out to probably look for something better. But you didn't have that option. No. As a matter of fact, my concern is really and truly, how easy has it been for you guys settling back at home? Be it that you left on your own volition or you were taken out. I mean, not minding what really took you out.
Let me go,
okay.
Baba. I attempted to come home the first time in 2000.
That's about 7 years I haven't lived outside.
After I left, I felt I'd reached what I call the glass ceiling, or the concrete ceiling, as the case may be, in the UK, and I wanted to come back and be part of the growth happening in Nigeria. And I survived only 1 year. I wasn't streetwise enough. I left Nigeria as a very young man. I wasn't in business when I left. I came back into business with a certain level of naivety and too much trust in a climate where trust is a rare commodity. And I was stung. Every person that I dealt with in that time, that's when I joined the film industry, dealt with me, literally. And I ran back to England to say, you know what, I would come back. And I will come back when the circumstances are different.
I'll come back better.
Come back better.
Yeah.
I did come back in 2011. And since then, I didn't come to stay like I did the last time. I've kind of gradually, dipped my toe in the water and dipped my ankle down to the knee. And now it's up to my, it's up to my nose.
Yeah.
I think the question was coming back.
Yeah.
And how easy I found it. To be honest, it was very tough. I came back in 2010 to look over, as I say, I do events and logistics of events. And it was actually a film festival in Port Harcourt called the Iron Film Festival. I came to be the chief operator for that. And it was a great event. It was very well funded and very well, pretty much attended by international stars. And because of my connections with the international cinema and in Hollywood, I was brought in for this. I thought it was going to be easy. And as Obi just said, I came back the second year, the year after 2011, and I found that people who had said, oh, come back, it's all right, we'll give you business, didn't answer my calls. If I sent an email, people didn't respond, which for me was very strange because professionalism states that even if you're busy, you put out of office on your email saying, I'm out of office, I'm coming next. And I couldn't understand that kind of mindset. And when I came back, people would say, why are you back? It's rubbish here. I'm like, you wouldn't get an Israeli saying that about Tel Aviv. You wouldn't get an American saying that about New York. An Englishman, even if it's raining, would never curse England to another person, maybe to another Englishman. But we always were the ones trying to put ourselves down. And that was it was the mindset that really freaked me out. So coming back wasn't easy. And I realized, okay, I'm making a business in England, which I still have, but maybe it's not the right time. So who helped me come back to England? The United Kingdom. UK Trade and Investment, because my business has been going we look after people like Cartier, Google, LinkedIn. It had been going for a while. So they said, oh, you can invest in going back to Nigeria because you have an affinity being a Nigerian and a Brit. Come back to Nigeria, we'll give you X amount of thousands of pounds to actually come back. So I had to use the British government to come back to Nigeria.
Can you beat that? I mean,
and the surprising thing also is when we look at this administration, so far with the foreign policies which they're trying to build around, they're looking at how they can get Nigerians in the diaspora to return back to Nigeria to contribute to the economy, to the society, to help change the mindset, like you said, you talked about, and also change things. But do you think that's easy? Because first of all, we have someone like Dr. Ben Omalu, who is a seasoned physician and pathologist, and we need people like that. We need the likes of Ola Falabi, Anthony Joshua to come back and help things grow. But do you see that happening in the next 4 years?
Very good question. I think
with the little or less infrastructure we have.
I think it's more than infrastructure. As you say, that's the fundamental part of Nigeria, is the agribusiness. We've all talked about the macroeconomics. I used to be a banker myself. Now I'm in marketing and events. It's different. And I realized that the fundamentals needed in Nigeria in the next 3 years, really, probably are not attainable. It's not possible. So what we need to do is rebrand Nigeria. Tourism. Everyone says, oh, they go to Ibiza or to Miami for the sun.
Exactly.
And we have sun here. But our sun is different. It's very hot here. So it's not about coming back to sit on the beach.
Our sun does not tan, it burns.
Exactly. As I found out yesterday on my shiny head. But, you know, in Nigeria, what we do have is art, culture, film, music. And this is something that people can come back for Fela Kuti, for Nollywood. They can go to different parts of Nigeria to festivals, and people want to come back. I know a lot of Europeans that say, oh, if you set up a package for a week, we'll come back to Nigeria, see what it's about. Not for the sun. We want to come for the culture. We've got to play to our strengths.
Yeah, but we have
these are issues. In terms of Nigerians abroad who are being wooed to come back, I think the operative thing here is that the people would need to want to come back. They would want to come back. Because if they don't want to come back, then all they see is negative.
No, but Obi, I differ a little bit because I have people who they just don't want to come back.
They don't want to come back.
Yeah, they don't want to come
So
back.
no matter what you give them, they don't want to come back.
I think it's the branding, because Nigeria is branded by Nigerians as an awful place. It's a place that there's no light.
So what should change, Baba Obi?
No, but
What really should change?
Branding, because when I tune to CNN, the first thing I see is Chiba girls. The first thing I see
That's
is
branding.
Yeah, that's branding.
No, but then it's about
We've
branding.
made so much.
But then they also have their people, their correspondents on ground in Nigeria who move to the street.
It's the editorial choice.
It's the
editorial choice.
They read only the bad stories.
Yes.
So
The
what can
editorial
we
choice,
do?
bad stories.
Bad stories.
What can we do about
It's the
that?
editorial
We
choice.
can
Yes.
actually change that. From everyone looks to the government.
And that's what Nollywood is doing. Nollywood is telling a different story of
Let the
Africa.
government do something. Nollywood is telling a different story. That's branding.
Yes.
Bollywood did it with India. Now everyone wants to go to India for some reason.
Hollywood did it with
Hollywood has
America.
done it
Sold
with
you
America.
an American dream.
Nollywood. Everyone should stop nannying and waiting for the government. Let's the private
do
sector.
whatever.
do what they can
How
do.
does this branding start? How can let Nigerians know exactly what exactly is branding, especially when you're not doing it with the support of the government.
Social media is a
Of the
very
government,
strong
yes.
force right now.
Very strong.
It's about projecting what we want the world to know about us. It's about
Even if
projecting
we are
positive.
lying about it.
Everyone,
lie.
no, that's branding.
It has to
That's
be
not
balanced.
right. England is the beautiful state that everyone walks on streets of gold, and you go there as we all
I
know.
know, yeah,
England is hard, it rains, it's depressing.
yes.
But people, refugees, you go to Calais, you go and see how many
They're
people
queuing
are
up.
trying to
Yeah.
get to Calais. They don't know how hard it is. And one thing that we don't have here that the rest of the world has is racism. We have to be aware, the whole of the world, whatever anyone says, racism is prevalent. In Nigeria, we're all black.
Yeah, but we
Whether
have
we're-
ethnicity
Yeah.
issues.
Yes,
Or you're
okay,
Hausa,
everyone has
or
their
you're
feeling.
Kurdi.
But it's better. So here, you have a better opportunity to actually perpetuate the living that you want.
Here
Okay, so if you will assist a Briton or you will assist an American, I actually mean a Nigerian in diaspora
Yeah.
who is bent on relocating. What would you do?
The way I help people in US, I help people in England, in textile industry, in they're actually illustrators and manufacturing. The first thing to do is to come to Nigeria. You can't say, I'm investing in Nigeria, let me... The people want to invest. There's no stats on what to invest in. For instance, there is stats, sorry, let me not say that, but there's little or no stats. There's the protection of IP, which you're talking about, is very intellectual property, is very important. So let people come for a week. What we do is we set up a package. They come usually from a Sunday to a Sunday. They come to Lagos, which is usually the best place because Lagos is the vibrant Nigeria. Even though we have beautiful parts of other Nigeria, Yankari I went to in Bauchi, which is very interesting, Calabar, all these places. But Lagos is a great
We have the Ethiopia River in Delta State.
Yes, of
Just so
course,
you know.
Delta. My wife is from Benin City. It's,
Amazing.
Edo is beautiful
yeah,
as
it's
well.
beautiful. They have a
But
great culture.
It's great culture. The Eredo's Wall, people are interested in that,
Yeah.
which is the Yoruba Wall, 100 miles outside Lagos, 2 hours outside Lagos. So I tell them, come to Nigeria, come and stay at X Hotel, come to this show or event, come and meet these people, package these kind of speed datings where they can meet people in business here, see what they want to invest in or whether they want to bring business in. I know that infrastructurally we have a problem. Education is a huge problem, which we are tackling, but it's not my place. I'm not an economist anymore. I'm actually someone who brings in a branding, as you asked. What is branding? It's a change of perception. That's all it is. The perception of a country. Everyone knows that in the morning you brush your teeth, you get in a car, you have to get to work. But in your mind, you're already at work talking to your clients.
Exactly.
True.
So we know that Nigeria has its problems, there's electricity problems, but let's get over that and see what we as people can do. Microeconomics, the SMEs, the small to medium-sized enterprises are the most important. So all these people waiting for government to pay. We've got 180 million odd people here. let's say, and look at the telecoms business, it's the best business to show that
yeah.
you can make money in this country.
In this country, of course.
Nollywood is a good business to show that you can make money in this.
Tell
My advice-
Tell us, Obi. All of us will be able to.
I'm not an investment banker.
No, but he's into marketing and branding.
Yes, I'm moving from investment.
He's really marketing people. Let me market Nollywood hard. You know, the first thing I tell people that, you know, they ask me, first of all, how do you, at the moment, I will say I live in two places. I live in London, my family is still there, and I come to Nigeria to work. And I'm managing the two jurisdictions, as they say. But the first thing I tell people is that you have to come. You have to come, and you don't come all in one go. You have to come gradually.
Yeah.
Test, you know, have the
Test the waters.
Yes, have the speed dating. That
But if you are
Baba
trying to
mentions.
test the water and the first leg you put out is inside the hot water, you think you want to
bring it
bring
out,
out the
bring it
second
out and
one.
put it in
You
the
don't want
fridge.
to bring out the second one, obviously.
Or you have more cold water.
I wish that we could continue, but really and truly, time is up on the show. But I know that we will definitely have more time to to talk about this. We can't end it here. So, gentlemen, I mean, kindly accept our invitation when we reach out to you again to actually talk more about this. Probably dedicate a whole show to it, and so that we have enough time to talk about it. Now, for people who are at home, sorry we couldn't take your calls. We just want to pass some vital information out there. We'll be back next week, and most probably we may be talking about Nigeria in diaspora. Bye for now.
Say no to violence and be vigilant. God bless Nigeria.